We're gonna talk about something that's pretty basic and yet, there he is. Yeah. And yet, something that a lot of people that not everybody knows about. So this was a little bit apparent in talking to Rich. Rich kept talking about channels and people didn't really know. And so this is kind of basic marketing, but not everybody remembers or not everybody got this. So we're going to talk about the marketing mix. Who, on top of your head, who does remember what this is?
Is it the 4 Ps?
The 4 Ps, yeah, which are price, product, place,
Promotion.
right on. Thank you. Who did not know that? Yeah. 5 people who are honest. Maybe more than that. So I just want to, so part of the reason that I want to talk about this is that one big part of marketing is the acquisition of vocabulary, so that you can talk about marketing with other people in the world of business and sound like you know what you're talking about. And one of the most commonly misused words in the world of business is marketing. People use that to refer to something else, which is promotion. And so just what I want to do is kind of cover this stuff so that you're using the word marketing correctly, and that you're not using marketing in place of the word promotion, which is the better word for often what people mean when they say marketing. Okay? So, and the other part is, marketing is much more, it involves a lot more than people typically think. They think it's advertising or promotions. And that's not wrong, because that's part of marketing. But it has this is part of marketing, the actual product itself. So Cheerios, I think, is a good example, and if you've had a class from me before, these examples will be a little familiar. But Cheerios is what did Cheerios start off as? Well, if we go back, I don't know, 40 years, but what was Cheerios? Yeah, plain Cheerios.
Yeah, we're saying they were kind of gross at first. It was just plain Cheerios.
Yes.
I like plain Cheerios.
Ew.
I don't drink milk. Like, I just eat my cereal dry. So.
Whoa, that takes
That sounds like a personal problem.
So Cheerios, again, for a long time it was the yellow box and nothing else. And then they came with a brand extension, which was the first brand extension? Honey Nut, right? That was the biggest one. And that is actually, when you talk about marketing, that's marketing. It's a new product. So when we think about marketing, again, it's not just advertising and promotion. The creation, development of innovative new products, that's also marketing. So Cinnamon Burst, this was relatively new. Protein Cheerios, has anyone seen Protein Cheerios? I think they pulled them because it turns out there's like no protein in them. The 11 grams of protein, most of that comes from the milk. I'm not joking. It's mostly from the milk. There's a light dusting of protein in it. And so they've either had they got a lot of heat for that. So that's one kind of product. This I just saw I just saw this recently. And when I see something like this, and when you see something, a completely new product, I want you to think that's marketing, right? Not just that's a new product, that's a new thing. Because this is marketing too. So my brother-in-law had a birthday party and we roasted marshmallows. And Hershey's is now selling sticks to roast marshmallows. It's a new product. I imagine that in terms of the cost of the materials, they're super flimsy. Like, it can barely hold up a marshmallow. It's if you want to go with a double barrel, you're really gonna be testing the tensile strength. So it's like 80 cents worth of material, and they sell them for like $2.50. But this is also marketing. It's a new product, right? Glassdoor, does anyone know what Glassdoor does? Job,
They talk about jobs, openings and job positions.
yeah, and satisfaction, but it's a website where you can find out what it's like to work for a company. So if you're interested in working for AT&T, go to Glassdoor and you can find, it's people who work there will talk about that job. That's an innovative product, right? It's a website that allows people to have information and insights. This is also marketing, right? It's on the product side of things. Xbox Play Anywhere, does anyone know what this is? Or Play Anywhere, this new Microsoft thing?
That's like transition between having console games onto your PC, correct?
Yeah, so translate that.
So like the platforms are different, right? So like a PC gamer can't play against an Xbox One gamer online. So what Xbox is doing, since they partner up with Windows and Microsoft, they're allowing Steam, which is a gaming engine on the PC, to now access the same online platform.
So you buy this game, Gears of War, for your PC, you can play it on your Xbox. And vice versa, you buy it on your Xbox, you can play it on your PC. That's an innovation, that's a product innovation that other companies don't have. So that's another, so these are all just, instead of thinking of this, oh, that's cool, this is marketing, this is effective marketing, right, on the product side of it. Any questions? Price. So price is also part of marketing. This is a product, this is a price innovation, which is what? Baggage fees. This is also marketing, right? It's a price innovation. What do they do? They just because everybody hates it doesn't mean it's not marketing, doesn't mean it's not effective, right? So the idea is that they're gonna charge you for a bag. That's a pricing innovation. That used to not be the case. It used to be, that was part of your ticket. Somebody figured out there's some money to be saved here, money to be made here, and so they came out with a pricing innovation, which is, this is also marketing, right, on the price side. Amazon Underground, this is an example I like to use. So does anyone know what Amazon Underground is?
Isn't it the thing with all the free games?
Yes, it is the thing for all, yeah. So, the kind of, one of people's biggest complaints is with the free games is what? Ads are maybe second to
In-app purchase. Oh, yeah.
the in-app purchases, right? To be competitive, you end up paying, and there's nothing as expensive as a free game, right? Because people end up, they get hooked and they start playing, and then you buy stuff. And so what Amazon does is they've started to give these games away that are redesigned and completely free, and what you get instead are advertisements. So the games are genuinely free. The ones that have freemium versions, Amazon Underground has them completely free. And they actually pay the developers for every minute or every hour that you play. They get some small portion of revenue directly from Amazon. And what Amazon's trying to do is to get people into their ecosystem and grow their business. So this is a pricing innovation, and this is also part of marketing. Promotion, this is what we typically think of, and this is where people often misuse marketing, the word marketing. The more accurate word is promotion. So Bugzug, we talked about, this was kind of hard to understand in Rich's talk, but he was talking about, did anyone understand what he was doing with, you can get one of these free? You have to buy it and then you'll get $20. Did anyone follow that?
I actually did it and everything with no.
Okay, so talk about that.
So pretty much like the sales velocity type, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So Amazon, I believe Amazon can tell like when something sells up a bit more, it goes to the top. So what we had to do was trick Amazon into thinking that they were selling a lot at one time. So pretty much all we did was we wouldn't look up Bug Zapper, we'd look up electric slice water or Bug Zapper or something like that. we'd go through and we'd find something that was like the Bug Zug and add it to our cart. And then eventually we'd get down to the page, it was like page 8, I believe, that the Bug Zug was on. We would add that to our cart, and then we would delete all the other fly swatters out of our cart, and then we would buy that one. So supposedly it says, it tricks the Amazon algorithms thinking that this Bug Zug is gonna do better than all the other ones.
And so did the money for the Bug Zug, where did it come from?
To buy it and everything? From them. No one just gave me money for it.
Yeah, so this is part of their promotional budget, right? So it's kind of a sneaky way to do that. Give people cash and then get them to buy it from Amazon. That's a promotional tool, right? It's to get the product name out there. So that's a promotion.
What's the difference between that and like is it the same thing as like a rebate?
A rebate, well, a rebate would rebate would be a promotion, right? That would be a kind of promotion.
Is that idea kind of the same premise as gift cards for like Sears? If I buy a gift card for Sears, that counts as one transaction. I then use that gift card to buy things from Sears as another transaction. So the company's side, or
It looks
algorithms
like-
say I made 2 transactions when in fact it was only one.
I have no idea.
Oh.
That sounds right to me. I don't know. So another example would be McDonald's Monopoly. It's another promotion that you're familiar with. the AT&T girl, that's a kind of promotion. Wow, this is really, product placement, we've talked about that. That's a kind of promotion. Outdoor billboard advertising, that's a kind of promotion. This branded content, which the university's doing now, so they'll maybe, do you guys wanna talk about this? Wait, Alexis, you're.
We just wrote an article, yes.
So talk about that.
Yeah, so we have a contract with Fox 13 that we're writing like sponsored content pieces for them. So it looks like it's an article on Fox 13's website, and we have a contract that they'll share it on Facebook and have it like as a sponsored Facebook post and everything, but it's really like me and Cammie just wrote one about football, being an ultimate football fan. And so we wrote it, but it looks like Fox 13 wrote it to up like SUU's stance, I guess, and especially up north, a lot of people read Fox 13, so.
But then like when you read it, it's linked to all SUU stuff.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh yeah, college football fan, and then it's like, visit SUU.
Yeah, that's perfect, yeah, so that's another kind of promotion. So the idea is, these are all different kinds of promotion. It's not just advertising, there's lots of different kinds of promotions. And then the last one is place, and this language is a little bit outdated because it goes back to the era where to sell something you had to have a physical retail location, and that's not the case anymore. But so this is sometimes called distribution, or Rich called it channel, which is how do you get the product to the customer. So there's, again, there's the product, there's the price, there's the promotion, and then place or distribution or channel. That's how you actually get the product to the customer. And all of these are parts of marketing. So again, kind of the point of this exercise is so that you use that term correctly. It's much more broad than people typically use it. So Vivint, how does Vivint get their product to their customers?
Go to the customer.
Okay, door to door is the promotion side. How do they deliver it? The installer, yeah. So the installer shows up and installs it. That's how they get the product to the consumer. Pepsi, so this is something that Rich talked about last time. Do you remember what he said about Pepsi?
That Pepsi bought or created Burger King / Taco Bell to distribute Pepsi products.
Yeah, so Taco Bell,
Burger King.
and so, yeah, Burger King, actually, so Pepsi spun off their snack food and their restaurant business a few years ago. But the original idea behind, and Burger King's been independent for a lot longer, but so the original idea behind Burger King and Taco Bell was to provide a means of distributing Pepsi, right? That's another kind of distribution innovation, getting that product to consumers. iTunes is one of my favorite examples of distribution. So how is this distribution?
First online.
What's that?
Is the first online.
Yeah, so it used to be that, you bought music, you bought the physical copy, and that's how you got music. This, Steve Jobs, I think his legacy, people think about him in terms of his hardware innovations. I think this is his lasting legacy, which is a distribution innovation for music. How do you get the product to consumers? This, I think, is his most interesting and longest lasting kind of legacy is not a hardware or a product innovation, but a distribution innovation.
I was just gonna say they do it with movies now too, is they're all doing the online, like digital movies, so you can get it on all your devices and watch it at any time.
Yeah, so I'm curious who, I saw Redbox the other day and I thought, does anyone use Redbox anymore? I'm curious, who uses Redbox? Oh, so you guys,
It's cheaper.
It is cheap.
is it?
Oh, yeah.
It's 99 cents.
It's 99 cents? That is cheap.
It's like $1.50 now.
Yeah.
But you do have to get out of bed.
But you're already at McDonald's.
Yeah, for some of us, that's not a problem.
Kroger, so this is kind of another example of a distribution innovation. Does anyone remember the kind of the quirky thing about Kroger? Just had my class before.
They make all their own stuff.
Yeah, so Kroger owns farms and bakeries and ranches and slaughterhouses, and they own from the start, they own from the cow to the burger to the butcher. They own the whole process in a lot of cases. And so that's also a distribution innovation. How do you get a hamburger to somebody? In Kroger's case, they start with the cow and they go all the way through the process.
Maverick's actually done this too. They own their refineries, their trucks, and their gas stations.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a good example of a distribution innovation.